count it up. Hey, hundreds and fifties and 20s, no fives and no singles, don't count on them. Hey, she wanted like.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Indianapolis Colts. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick in the 2019 draft from Oklahoma. It's Kyler Murray.
Now, the meeting we had with him this week, that's one of the briefer ones we've ever had, isn't it?
He wasn't too happy after last week.
Not happy. Really determined to play a whole lot better, and he really can't play a whole lot worse. He's got to go out and show the team that the goods that he exhibited early are still there. Otherwise, he could lose the confidence that they have in him.
Yeah, hoping to get rid of that interception bug. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down.
Ready? Double time.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 44, Murray. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now a draw play to McCaffrey. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Here we go. Set. 30 base. Hey, wahoo!
Check 99.
Now. Can.
Here we go. Check. Check your hot read.
Let go.
Now they try the right side here. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend. To develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Haywood. 6'6", bullet high. Hey! General West. Check.
Switch.
Ready.
Now a handoff looking right. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play. And we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit, but how about guys who are maulers? Because that's what you want in short yardage situations, and we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running.
Watch the twist.
Yo, 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 go, go. Hey, 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 hey.
I'm coming.
Get it.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Look at me. Go, go. Yep.
Mike, 2. Watch 2. Watch 2. Okay, double up, double up, double up, double up. Switch, switch, switch.
Now they try the right side here. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 8.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down.
Go. Deep grip.
They'll look to throw here. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
A lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of the first after a gain of about 9. The numbers for him from a week ago, 23 carries, 102 yards.
So coming off the opener where they established the run and established it well, their goal is to make sure that the trend continues and to serve notice to the rest of the league that they might be a run-first team.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. With your 6th-round pick, not many expect them to jump right in and contribute, but he's done a pretty nice job.
As a 6th-round pick, you'll come in and just work harder. That's part of what goes into it because you want to prove you should have been picked higher. But we've seen 6th-round picks come in and play very well in this league. He will have the same opportunity.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, it all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill.
Lock it. Snap.
And to give this time to the tailback. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Catch made here by Campbell. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Paris Campbell, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. The extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Another run, this time McCaffrey. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
And that will hit and continue on out of bounds.
That's it, baby. Go.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice, that it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to look deep down the field. He's got a man complete. 39 yards there, a big one.
Let's go.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Ready.
Back to throw now on first down. He's going to loft it deep. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. They'll get 34 yards there. And that's now 2 big catches on this drive for him.
You know, the NFL keeps talking about the possibility of using video for coaching on the sidelines. That's not approved yet, but you can still use pictures. They've got to send his picture down to this.
After reviewing the play, the running on the field was reversed.
The head coach relied on his eagle eye in the sky to make the right call and was told to challenge it, and it looks like it's paid off.
And from a coach's standpoint, when you throw that flag, it's probably a pretty tense moment. Here it pays off.
Yeah, you have that little bit of indecision. You throw it where you feel like you're right, and then you think, uh-oh, did I get it right? In this case, they can celebrate. I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Hey, Zoo.
Choose the mic. Not here.
Go.
Get it.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 22-yard line. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
He'll have a first down inside the 10 and all the way down to the 5. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season.
Choose the mic. I'm scared. Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
Hey, Sam off. Look at me. Zipper.
They'll try to run this one in. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 3rd down, here's McCaffrey. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Murray now. That's to McCaffrey, complete. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Murray now to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Campbell making the catch. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half. See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
2nd and 6. Throwing right, and that's complete. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down. Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a handoff looking right. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down. They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think? And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And he'll give it here to his running back. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19. Right, didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Leo. Go. Go out. Blue draw Corker. Hey.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8. They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission. And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. They're going to look to throw. Now he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Extra point attempt here still to come. And it is now 21-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them. They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Jaguars make some inroads here on that deficit. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do.
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Point after, right down the middle.
Well, that is certainly a deflator right there defensively. Their guys just came off of a touchdown drive. They're back in the game, and then bam, they give up a touchdown 1 play later. How about that?
And the momentum, which seemingly had shifted the other direction, thought we might be seeing a comeback. That momentum right back the other way.
Well, that is certainly not complimentary football that we saw right there. The defense is supposed to help their offense, not give up another touchdown.
The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back. But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. To throw is Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Back now in Indianapolis. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1 play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1 play drive is exactly what you want on offense. But they have to be careful of.
And this is caught. A huge play that time for the Colts. 58 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Well, that didn't take long. 1 play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation.
Go! Look at me, zipper! 5!
They'll try to run this one in, and he takes it in for a Colts score. A great effort there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Extra point right down the middle. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. He'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll wind up losing 7 yards on the play, and it'll be a 2nd and long. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Murray going to throw. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. It'll be a gain of 8 yards. And just like that, it's 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Murray, and he can't quite pick it. No interceptions so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together, and I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And that's caught inside the 30. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively, all they could do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. So on 4th down, a big-time completion. And the defense, they've got to be shaking their heads right now.
Not only shaking their heads, but understand that they committed one of those cardinal sins that they say they can't do at any time. They committed an eye violation, had their eyes in one place, and allowed the deep ball behind them.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Now out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
You better be ready.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And now a timeout taken here defensively with 2:07 remaining. So they'll also have the stop coming up at the 2-minute warning. On 2nd and 12, Murray. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. To throw, it's Murray. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Hey.
Watch two. Hey, watch that. Hey, watch the ball.
Check. Yo, Jackrabbit, come on. Go.
Now they try the right side here. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Brings up 3rd down and 9.
Can.
Check 37.
Yep.
To the mic. Check.
Deep rip.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
I'm coming.
Go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this is incomplete. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Murray. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Watch one. Let's go, defense.
Throwing on 1st down is Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 8. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row They were blowouts. And none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Choose the mic. Know your job. Check. Crunch.
Hey, foxtrot. Five.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to walk one deep left side here. And it's incomplete. Still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Indianapolis, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville. And for Charles Davis and our entire...
Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay.